Honkai Star Rail will launch with 28 playable characters, but a more efficient way is to explain the differences in character elements and archetypes. I have already explained the paths in the previous video, but here's a quick recap. The Path of Destruction is for frontline attackers, the Path of Harmony is to buffing party members, the Path of Abundance is for healers, the Path of the Hunt is for single target, the Path of the Preservation are for defenders, the Path of the Erudition is for AoE damage, and the Path of Nihility is for debuffing the enemy. Honkai, like Genshin, has 7 elements, but unlike it, the elements do not react with each other. Instead, they are used to counter your enemy. Since most enemies will have weaknesses against at least one enemy, you need to counter them to break their toughness bar, so you can actually deal some damage. Once that has been broken, enemies will enter a weakened state called Weakness Break, which will make them more susceptible to negative effects more easily and will take more damage. For the element's Weakness Break effects, we have Physical deals additional physical damage and applies bleeding effect, which deals physical damage over time. For Ice, the enemy is frozen and unable to take action, also deals ice damage over time. Fire deals additional damage and burns the opponent, which also deals fire damage over time. Lightning deals additional damage. The shock effect deals lightning damage over time. Wind deals additional wind damage, applies the wind shear effect, which deals wind damage over time. For Quantum, the enemy receives the entanglement effect, which delays their on-field actions and deals quantum damage over time. For Imaginary, the enemy receives the imprisonment effect, which delays their on-field actions and reduces their overall speed stat. To level your character is just like Genshin. You give them experience, money, and to ascend them you will need drops, so you can level them up more. Characters also have constellations from 0 to 6, which means to get a character to its max constellation or Eidolon Resonance, you will need 7 copies of that character. Characters will also have traces, which is the equivalent of talents for Genshin players. Some will require leveling up, of course, and they are divided into Basic Attack, Skill, Ultimate, Talent, and Technique, and you basically use most of these for every character. There are relics which are equivalent to Genshin's artifacts, even having a 2-piece and 4-piece bonus, with the relics being 4 or 5 star. However, you do have 6 slots for relics, which allows you to put a 4-piece plus a 2-piece, or even use a 2-piece, 2-piece, 2-piece. We also can't rule out the possibility that in the future maybe we'll get different piece bonus configurations. The usual stats for your characters are HP, attack, defense, speed, crit rate, and crit damage. But your character also have resistance, which they can acquire through these relics, as well as break effect, hit rate, energy, etc. I might make more videos on artifacts when the game comes out, but unfortunately I didn't get beta access to dive deeper into it. You're salty about that, by the way. Light cones are equivalent of weapons in this game, although they are more like an artifact since they have no physical appearances. But they are the main piece of equipment for your character. But which light cone can I use in which character, you may be wondering? Well, that is simple. The light cones will be separated by the character's path, which means 7 different types of light cones. Using a light cone in an incompatible character is possible, but you will not get the abilities, only the stats. They vary from 3 star to 5 star, the higher rarity, the higher the stats. And of course the most powerful light cones are obtained through orbs. This is a gacha game after all. But you can also get the 3 stars from stuff like world quests, and 4 stars will be given with events, eventually. You can use either other light cones or enhancement materials to level up your current light cone. And also they will need materials to ascend. You can superimposition them, which is the equivalent of refining. Light cones give you extra attack, HP and defense. And they also have a unique passive ability to each one. The mission system in Star Rail is similar to Genshin, having story missions, world quests, character quests and dailies. However, as per CBT 3, there was only one daily mission per day. This might change when the game releases though. For the wishing system in this game is called warps, and we will have the standard banner, limited banner, and limited light cone banner. There will also be a beginner banner for a limited amount of wishes, 50 to be more specifically, which guarantees you a 5-star. Every 10 warps guarantees you a 4-star in the other banners. Character limited warps have 1 promotional 5-star character and 3 featured 4-star characters, and the same for light cones. Of course, the featured characters will have increased drop rate. For a limited banner, you will use your Star Rail special passes, and for the standard banner, it is the Star Rail pass. The Primogem equivalent are called Stellar Jade, and each pass costs 160 of them. And probably when the game releases there will be a premium currency, because that's the standard for gacha games. I'm writing this and realizing they really are trying to make it very similar to Genshin, but instead of free combat, it's turn-based. That will be all for now. I'll do more videos when the game comes out probably. Check out one of the videos presented to you on your screen. Subscribe, like and share if you enjoyed, and leave a comment down below. And I'll see ya in the next video.